The conjunction with Chiron here is, I would say, pivotal, because it tells us that we want to act because we feel unsafe. We want to act because we want to give into the ego's need. And we also want to protect our inner child. What we should do instead is ask ourselves, why is the inner child acting out in this way? Why do I feel the need to do this? Where is this really coming from? And what do I really need? What do I actually need? And what will help me in the long run? Not a quick fix, because this is a very quick fix kind of moon. Good morning, my lovelies. Welcome back. Now it is time to talk about the full moon in Aries. So we've just came out of eclipse season. Well, I would say we are probably still experiencing the aftermath, right? We are not really fully out of it. There's still these layers, hanging layers, you know? And we are still trying to integrate the lessons. But the world doesn't stop for us, right? Life goes on, energetics keep moving and flowing. And there's another full moon. And this time we're talking about the full moon in Aries, happening on the 17th of October in Aries. And this is an interesting moon because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with this moon, but there's also a lot going on around the moon. Now, before we get into those details, let's remind ourselves, what does the full moon represent? Well, the full moon represents a culmination. Something is coming to a head. We reach a goalpost, right? It's not that we are reaching the end. We're not reaching the end until we're leaving this planet, but we're reaching a goalpost. Sometimes it's just a small goalpost that we don't even really notice, but other times it is rather big. So if, for example, you have a lot of planets at this degree point where we experience the full moon, which is 24 degrees of Aries, or if the full moon is opposing some of your planets, squaring your planets, this is a moon that will obviously affect you more. Now, we're talking about Aries. Aries is a very fiery sign, right? It's the fire sign, I would say. It is, let's go. It wants to move. It wants to accomplish something. It wants to do. It's a doing energy. However, this is a culmination. We have to realize something here. We have to realize that something has come to a head. And it doesn't mean that we can't do anymore, but this is a moment of reflection, which is, Aries is not necessarily known to be the most reflective energy. It's kind of like the Nike energy, right? Just do it. That's Aries. But the full moon says something is coming to a head. So the question is, what have you learned? What have you learned in your life for yourself? Like if you're an Aries rising, for example, this is an energy that falls into your first house. Now, there is a new beginning here, but have you understood the lessons? Now, this moon is sextiling Jupiter, conjunct Chiron, and Mars, the ruler of this full moon, is squaring the full moon. And that often translates into, I just gonna do it anyways. I don't care. I don't want to think. But again, don't rush into something. Mars is in Cancer right now. So Mars in Cancer just wants to protect itself and its loved ones, and often doesn't think of other consequences that can occur by acting in that way. Think of the consequences of your actions for yourself, for your future, and for your loved ones. The conjunction with Chiron here is, I would say, pivotal, because it tells us that we want to act because we feel unsafe. We want to act because we want to give into the ego's need. And we also want to protect our inner child. What we should do instead is ask ourselves, Why is the inner child acting out in this way? Why do I feel the need to do this? Where is this really coming from? And what do I really need? What do I actually need? And what will help me in the long run? Not a quick fix, because this is a very quick fix kind of moon. So I go, let's just fix it quick. But will it help you in the long run? The sextile with Jupiter is very, very helpful here, because this is just beautiful energy that first of all helps us see the bigger picture, the future as well, where we are going, what we want, our vision for life. It's like the cheerleader on the sideline saying, yes, you can do it. You can do it. Yes, you can. But slow down. Slow down. There's no need to rush. One more player in this game that I usually don't really work with, but for some reason it really stood out to me during this new moon, is Juno, the asteroid Juno, who represents the wife. Now there's feminine energy here, right? We are dealing with Aries, which is masculine, which is Mars ruled, and then we are having Juno exactly to the degree opposing this full moon. Now this is a relationship aspect. So if you are in a committed romantic relationship, you might have to address some issues here. Juno is saying, well, I'm not happy. I'm expecting a little more. This is not enough. What are you doing? Or what are you not doing? And then Juno has to ask herself what her role is in this. So I think we will have relationship issues show up in an unexpected form maybe. And by unexpected, I don't mean, oh, you didn't see it coming, you're completely blindsided. Probably not. There's probably, you already know what's going on in your relationship or what is not working. But you might not have expected it show up right now in that shape or form. Because when we are dealing with an opposition, we are dealing with two opposite ends of the same spectrum. And there's a clash, right? But there also is a very sparkly energy. We often forget that with oppositions, right? It's a very attractive energy. So we do want to make this work. But what we have to learn that both of us have to give in a little. And I'm not saying necessarily you have to go from here to here. Maybe you have to go from here to here. So it's a very interesting moon. One more thing that will spice up this moon even more is the sextile between Venus and Pluto. This is going to be the last sextile these two have in this constellation in our lifetimes. So this is very interesting, and I think it's very beautiful and also very helpful. And we need all the help we can get on this moon, because this moon can be a little, volatile. Every time Mars is involved, there is a little volatile energy involved. Now, these two meet in 29 degrees. Now, hallelujah. Now, Venus right now is in Scorpio, where she feels a little unstable, shall we say. And we have Pluto and Capricorn, the structures, the boundaries. Now, before these two met in a sextile a month ago, they met in a square. Now, that square probably brought up a lot of friction. Now we had time to think about what happened, to integrate the lessons. Now these two are ready to work more constructively on their unconscious issues, probably relating to worth and value. Now, I just said we have Juno opposing the moon. Relationship issues. There is helpful energy here. And if we are able to tap into this beautiful, helpful energy, really working on the subconscious layers that keep us stuck, that keep us repeating unhealthy relationship cycles. If we are able to tap into this energy that helps us get unstuck, get out of it, this is actually going to be a very beautiful moon. But again, you got to do the work. As I always say, you can't just sit on a couch and just hope that magically everything will change because now you're in your feminine energy and everything is good. No, you still have to do the work, right? And when I talk about the work, I talk about the inner work, because remember Chiron, the wounded child, wants to be heard and seen in the relationship. Now, how can you make your inner child feel heard and seen, truly heard and seen? Not by screaming and blaming the other, but how can you see yourself fully? Because if you don't see yourself fully, how can you expect the other to see you fully, to see you for who you are? Interesting moon. If you have any questions about this moon, please feel free to ask in the comment section. If you want a personal reading, feel free to book your reading, and anything else, I'm here for you. Ask away, and I'll see you in the next video.